What's up everyone, and welcome back to Nexus. Childhood innocence is a fragile concept, one people are all too willing to try and shatter. But prepare to have your childhood ruined even more by learning 10 disturbing facts about kids' TV shows. Ranging from genuine facts to some pretty horrifying fan theories that, well, they can't be proven, can't actually be disproven either. Try not to come out of this video too jaded. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get new content similar to this every day. Also, make sure to comment down below letting us know which was your favorite. And for this video, let's see if we can hit the golden like button, which is 1,000 likes, so make sure to drop a like down below. Number 10. This wouldn't be a list of disturbing facts about kids shows without addressing at least some of the infamous creepypastas on the web. And while this one is probably the freakiest, it's also so famous it doesn't really deserve the top spot. I'm of course talking about the Rugrats conspiracy theory. You know, that one that suggests that Angelica is schizophrenic and hallucinates all the babies around her and torments them. If you somehow haven't heard this before, prepare to be freaked out by the suggestion that Tommy is a stillborn, Chucky died in a car crash, and Lil and Phil were one baby who was aborted. It's pretty screwed up, and it continues into the rather unsuccessful spin-off, Rugrats All Grown Up, where people continue to claim that Angelica has turned to hardcore drugs and her death heralds the end of the show. Number 9. Just recently, a new Power Rangers movie hit screens across the world, but it may surprise you to know that the actors from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers never filmed a single fight scene. I guess because whenever they were fighting, the actors were wearing helmets, they never needed to do any actual fighting themselves. They could leave it to all the real heroes, their brightly costumed stunt doubles. It makes you wonder though, if they're doing their own stunts in every other Power Rangers adaptation that comes since, including the newest movie, then again, I guess the producers would have to choose whether or not they want a cast of professional martial artists or a cast of professional actors, and considering the fact that they can get away with having stunt doubles do everything so easily, it's probably for the best in terms of quality. Number 8. This isn't a kid's show, it's a Disney movie, but this fact is definitely disturbing enough to ruin your childhood, so we had to include it. Everyone's seen The Wizard of Oz somehow or read the book, or if you somewhat haven't, you'll know about it. The girl whose house gets picked up in a tornado in Kansas, the Wicked Witch of the West, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and the fake wizard himself in the Emerald City of Oz. Well, this fact pertains to the Cowardly Lion character. In the original live-action Disney movie, his costume is, in fact, made of real lion fur. Yeah, I guess poaching lions was still considered totally fine in 1939, when this film was released. Still though, it's pretty screwed up to watch it back and think about how many lions died just to make a realistic costume. And it's not like anybody believed he was a lion anyway. They should have just cut their losses and got a real one. Number 7. Our second Power Ranger fact is a little bleaker than the first one, but kind of deserves a place so that people carry on to think about these sorts of issues in society. The original Blue Power Ranger was David Yost, and he actually had to quit the show because his co-stars constantly made fun of him for being gay. Now, this is obviously not recent, but it does serve as a cautionary tale about idolizing actors and stars, because you never know what sort of person they might really be, and you've got to wonder about what really goes on behind closed doors of movie and TV sets that we might not hear about. At any rate, it's a sad story of a guy losing his job on popular kids show because of the bigotry of his fellow actors. Number 6. Our next fact comes from a staple show of everybody's childhood, ScoobyDoo. There's so many iterations of ScoobyDoo now, which span from 1969 to the present, that it's basically impossible that you didn't watch this as a kid. And if you are still a kid, you probably watch it now. Even with the dated costumes of the characters, it's timeless. But I bet you didn't know the disturbing truths about where the character archetypes came from. They're all based on American ideals and teen stereotypes of the time. For example, firstly, Daphne and Fred are represented as the perfect American couple. Secondly, Shaggy is supposed to be a stoner, this evidenced by how he constantly seems to have the munchies despite being so thin. And by the fact he's the only one in the original series who ever hears Scooby talk. Finally, Velma is meant to be a lesbian. Number 5. Another fan theory comes from one of the oldest shows on this list, the much-loved Flintstones franchise. Everybody knows the Flintstones, but there are some people who obviously want to ruin everybody else's fun by suggesting that the Flintstones is actually set in a post-apocalyptic future, after Western civilization is wiped out by nuclear disasters. This theory is tied to a similar one that the Flintstones and the other popular show The Jetsons are set in the same universe. The story goes that the advanced technology and computers in the Jetsons is hoarded by one society and kept away from another, who are forced to revert to primordial state, where they talk to dinosaurs. Dinosaurs which are in fact the synthetic creations of the advanced Jetson society. All that from the fact that they share the same art style. Number 4. Lilo and Stitch was an incredibly successful Disney film that aired 15 whole years ago in 2002. But the age of that movie isn't the disturbing fact. Lilo and Stitch spawned a whole bunch of TV shows and made-for-TV movies, and Stitch remains a popular Disney character today. All the while, Lilo has been voiced by actress Davy Chase. But did you know that Davy Chase is also the actress who plays Samara Morgan in The Ring? That's a pretty creepy fact to know about your favorite Disney franchise, that she went from entertaining kids to scaring the hell out of adults. A pretty weird career jump, if you ask me. Number 3. A lesser-known British kids show called Jigsaw also has some elements that are stuff of nightmares. It aired from 1979 to 1984, and for the most part was pretty harmless and just aimed towards educating kids under 7, usually using puzzles and entertaining skits. But one character called Mr. Nosybonk is particularly horrifying. A character who creeps around in a tuxedo with a freaky mask on. And the name of the show being Jigsaw doesn't help, because when I hear Jigsaw I think of some other terrifying masked villain. One who drives around on a tricycle and kidnaps and mutilates people. Number 2. A final fan theory about a show we all know and love comes from the Fairly OddParents, a show about a boy called Timmy and his 2 fairy godparents who grant his wishes. But it's popularly been theorized that the godparents are a metaphor for a kid on medication for mental illness, which is a pretty screwed up basis for a kid's show. Then again, maybe in some way it serves as a warning. Don't abuse your wishes/drugs, and they can make your life better until you no longer need them. In a way, it's pretty positive and could be said to help dissolve stigma around mental health issues. But I actually have 2 theories from this show, and the second doesn't have a silver lining and is less subtle. Timmy is being abused and he's hallucinating, pretty similar to the Rugrats theory. Number 1. Now, I can't be the only person in the world who's always got majorly freaked out watching Courage the Cowardly Dog. Just the fact that they live in the absolute middle of nowhere and weird stuff keeps happening that Courage's owners don't seem to care about at all is freaky enough. That sense of despair and complete isolation. A lot of this show revolves around supernatural entities, and you may often think it's too dark for child consumption. Clearly, Cartoon Network disagreed, since it ran for 4 seasons and 52 episodes, but it's still freaky. Most notably, the villain Naughty Fred, who arrives and wants to shave Courage and keep him locked up in a cage. Really, this show is sure to give you nightmares. Even the point-and-click adventure game that used to be available online was scary. That was our list of 10 disturbing facts about kids' TV shows. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a video in the future, and hit the like button too so we can get the golden like of 1,000. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Peace!